How y'all doing? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Love Doctor Show on WBOK 1230 AM or online at WBOK1230am.com. And if you're on Facebook Live, just find the Lloyd Dennis profile page. And right now we're on Facebook. You're tuned into what we consider to be a master class on the art, science, and power of love. The power of love to change your life. Right now, I want to invite and encourage you to share the Love Doctor Show with your people. Take a couple of minutes and send out that group text. Make a couple of calls. You know people who need this, need a little uplift or a little information about how to use love to make your life better. Because class is about to start, and it would be terrible if you didn't let those people know and help them not miss out on this opportunity for them to do better, because they'll know better, because I don't know anybody that wants their life to be messed up. When life is messed up, it's usually because somebody didn't know or understand something. And like I said, my name is Lloyd Dennis. They call me the Love Doctor, and I'm on the air to share my gift of understanding. The lesson today is entitled History Making Love. And that bodes well. I just, on the way in, I heard that we have this Black History 365 philosophy here at WBOK, which I like. Black History Month is every month. Every day is a Black History Day. So today's topic kind of goes along with that by coincidence. I read these columns that I wrote 26 years ago. I haven't read this in at least 20 years. So it's always interesting to see if I still agree with myself. So far, I'm doing pretty good. So far, the 40-year-old Love Doctor is holding his own against the 68-year-old Love Doctor. Ooh, man. That's 20, well, actually 28 years. Anyway, this is called History Making Love. And I assume I must have written this during, quote, Black History Month, but it's appropriate because I was on the way over here. I heard our boss, I heard the boss lady talk about we're going to do Black History 365, and so this is right in line with that here in the middle of August. So here goes. Now remember, I wrote this, I was 40 years ago. I was kind of full of myself, and that style, the style kind of comes through in the writing. So don't get mad at me. I've mellowed since then. So here we go. Whenever I am at a loss for a topic for my column, I've learned to depend on my friends and close associates for inspiration. Since I've chosen to associate myself with positive, sensitive, righteous, and productive human beings, it's easy to be inspired by their actions. Last night, I received a call asking that I develop a presentation relating to my experiences and understanding of Black history. At first, I was at a loss for a way to convert my concepts about self-help, individual action, and involvement into something relating to our history. While a Love Doctor may understand history, he is always focused on our now, how our now creates the future. Boom, it hit me. Thusly was created the focus for my Black history presentation, as well as the really on-time topic for this week's column, how love can create great Black history. If we wish to express our love for one another, then we must each accept a basic responsibility for creating our new history. Many people don't feel that they have any power over the events which are creating history, and perhaps it is this sense of powerlessness which prevents some of us from finding ways to influence the people and events which will shape tomorrow. I know some of you are saying, oh boy, the Love Doctor's gone off, you may be thinking. How can I know who or what will influence the future? The man's gone nuts. Well, you may be right. No, I'm not crazy. But it is impossible to know what will influence the future. But you might be the one. Yep, you. Consider the man whose birthday we just finished celebrating, Martin Luther King Jr. Martin Luther King Jr. wasn't born a civil rights leader. He had parents, school teachers, friends and relatives who influenced his life and helped create the history of the civil rights movement. Imagine if he had never felt loved. Imagine if he had no self-confidence. Imagine if he hadn't learned the lessons of right and wrong. Imagine if his mother had been a drug addict. Imagine if he had been killed on a street corner at 12 years old. Imagine if his father had not been around to be his role model. What would all of our lives be like now? I hope that you can see just how delicate a thing that history can be. Change one little thing and the fate of a people, a nation, or the world could be changed forever. The problem is that when history is being fashioned, very few people ever realize the effect that they are having on the future. Actually, many of us never think that we may be the one who shapes the future, greatness of another. It's both frightening and inspirational to consider the possible impact that a simple act of love or expression of support might have on the future. Hopefully, this reminder of every person's responsibility for the future will have some impact. In the day-to-day hustle and bustle of life, it's easy to overlook our importance as individual creators of history. All too often, we look at the accomplishments of an individual and fail to consider all the parts played by countless people to cause and allow that person to reach the heights that they have reached. In the chain reaction of human interaction, it is impossible to calculate all the differences you will make over your lifetime. I guess what I'm really trying to accomplish is to get all of my readers to understand that almost every time we show love and kindness to another person, we are providing pathways of positive possibilities. And each time we are callous or spiteful in our dealings with others, we may discourage someone from achieving wonderful things for mankind. It's a choice we should consider in each of our relationships. It's true. Next year or hundreds of years from now, someone may succeed, achieve, survive, prosper, create, contribute, revolutionize, invent, or lead because of some contribution made today or tomorrow by someone like you or me. Like dominoes cascading through time, the actions of one individual can affect another, unseen and unknown by the one who made the difference. Congratulations. The power is in your hands. You could be the one who creates or destroys possibilities for the great Black history we want and need for our children and our children's children. Ooh, that's it. Wow, man, the 40-year-old love doctor got down. Give him a hand. Give the 40-year-old guy a hand. I'm not trying to be like 45. I know congratulating yourself is not good, but I'm really happy that at 40 years old I could write that. Oh, I see all the love. Look, on Facebook Live when you get little love things flowing over. So thank you very much. I like that. That felt good. But anyway, right now we're gonna, as we normally do, we're gonna take a little break, and then we're gonna come back and talk about this more. And this month's local love notes feature, "I Don't Know How to Say Goodbye" by Philip Manuel from his CD entitled "They Don't Know." This is a great love song. Should have been somebody's hits, but you know they don't play our music.
I know how to build buildings that reach into the sky. I can't explain the evolution of a butterfly. I know how to sing a melody that stops a baby's cry, but I don't know how to say oh goodbye.
Y'all don't mind if I sing a little background?
Goodbye.
Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that really beautiful? That should have been a hit tune.
And I know that you can't win a race. Who if you don't run? Gotta run, yeah. I know how to tell the difference between the simple and soothing.
Yes, indeed.
But I don't know how to say, ooh, baby, can't say it, yeah. Goodbye. Can't bring myself to say
yes,
those
indeed.
words.
That's some love-making music. That's what that is. That's some love-making music.
I can do anything. Oh, can't say it, baby. Can't say it. You're like a drug to my system. A hunger deep down inside. When I think of all I'll be missing, makes me wanna break down and cry.
That is available on Amazon. Go on Amazon.com, search for Philip Manuel. I don't know how to say goodbye. 99 cents.
Can't bring myself to say those words.
99
bring
cents.
myself to say
Philip Manuel, PhilipManuel. You can buy that on Amazon.com.
I can't scale the highest mountain, swim the deepest sea, but I can't see.
All right. There we go. Facebook, we're getting ready to do the regular commercials now. And so now I want to get back into just a little discussion of the column that I read. And so one of the things that always bothers me is how helpless people feel. Is that people go through life behaving as though they don't matter. And what I'm beginning to understand is that everybody matters. Every person that's had a significant impact on our world has had people in their lives that shaped them, that uplifted them, that helped them understand things, that they had teachers that taught them. That, you know, this is we are all powerful. We are all powerful. And so you have to understand that everything you do, every time you interact, particularly with young people, man, every time you interact with young people, you stand the possibility of helping create the kind of leaders, the kind of brilliant human beings that we will benefit from in the future. You know, we work with kids all the time and we talk about their greatness. But some people never reach their greatness because they weren't encouraged, because they weren't taught, that people didn't have expectations. We are all powerful, and some of us, our power has become a negative force. We use our power to knock down instead of build up. We use our power to be negative instead of positive, instead of finding something positive to help make happen, to help make something happen. That's what creates change. And I am so excited. John Baker was on here. I am so excited that he's on. I'm just blessed. Cassandra said to that her boyfriend, yeah, not checking. We working on it. But I am blessed because I get to work with like 100 and something guys who understand they're building the future of this city. They know they're building the future of this city because they're working with the boys who are going to be the future fathers, the future husbands, the future politicians, the future supervisors, the future teachers. You are powerful. There are some young people out there. There are some young women who maybe have had a child early, maybe what lots of people would say too early. And what I want to say to you is that child is your opportunity to do something wonderful in the world. That you know, let's say you didn't make every great decision up to this part of your life. But that baby that you've been blessed with, because all babies are blessings, that baby that you've been blessed with is your opportunity to do something magnificent in the world. You would say that's because people live up to their program, and yes, that is true, but I always challenge grown folk to reprogram themselves. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that comes down from the generations ahead of us, from the people that raised us. And a lot of what they give, what comes down to us is what they got. But we challenge young people all the time, do something different, man. Do something different. Make a decision. You know, if you were not well cared for as a child, care for you, do a better job of caring for your children. And you might have to go find out how someplace else. You might have to read books. You might have to find, YouTube has some wonderful stuff, man. YouTube has some wonderful stuff. I'm going to tell y'all about something I'm learning in a little while. But if you don't know how to take care of your baby, there are places you can learn to do that. And so I'm suggesting that and teachers, I don't know why you're in the classroom, how you got to be in the classroom, but if you're in the classroom, love them children. Don't blame those children for who they are at this point in their life, because they didn't do that. We're already talking about how people get but there's hope. We see it every day. We see the light turn on. We see kids that their schools have given up on. We see the light turn on. And then they become some of the strongest leaders. I kind of believe that. I believe the kids who are most difficult to get along with in schools are like that because they've lived lives where they have learned that adults don't necessarily have their best interest at heart. So at this young age, they've decided that the best thing for me to do is make up my mind about everything. And these are children that you just can't walk up to and tell what to do, particularly if they don't feel comfortable doing it. So, yeah, you know, let's see every interaction with other human beings as an opportunity to make something good happen. To make something good happen. Because I'm going to tell you something. Most of the time when something bad happens, it's because there's a void of goodness. I said that. Most of the time when something bad happens, it's because the good people are not in the game. or the people who are in the game are not bringing their goodness. Your goodness can create greatness. Those questions I asked about Martin Luther King, I'm gonna go back to them because I think they worth repeating. And this applies to all of the people that we consider to be leaders in our life. You know, imagine if he had never felt love. Imagine if he had no self-confidence. Imagine if he hadn't learned the lessons of right and wrong. Imagine if his mother had been a drug addict. Imagine if he'd been killed on the street corner. Imagine if his father had not been around to be his role model. What would so many lives be like? What would so many lives be like? Yeah, adult is all about reprogramming yourself. And because I tell people that all the time, you know, people who are not succeeding in life live by excuses. They blame everything about where they are in life on somebody else. Yep, everything. This is like, I'm late because of somebody else. You know, not I'm late because I didn't anticipate that the bus might be late, that I didn't anticipate that there might be some traffic, and as an individual human being who has a place where you have to be at a certain time, you have a responsibility to just make sure that happens. So anyway, bring your goodness, man. Bring your goodness. Bring, you know, and I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm gonna tell you, and this is like from my life. When you bring your goodness, and positivity and construction, being constructive and helpful when you deal with other human beings, you know what you get back from the world? You get all of that back, sometimes multiplied. I was asked one time, one of these awards that I was getting, I was being interviewed, and the person asked me how I felt. And I normally don't think that much about myself, because that's usually, hell, the only time you're miserable is when you think about yourself. But the question made me ponder, and the truth is, I feel powerful. I feel powerful, not because I'm all of that, but it's because I know that the way that I try to live, that I've created relationships that allow me to have influence, that allow me to man, I wrote a piece the other day about schools and how we dogging out what we call these DNF schools, and an analysis that says, well, these are the schools that are getting the children who are behind grade level, because in the first round of the Open App, all of those kids went to applied to the A and B school, which y'all call A and B schools. And so all that's left is the schools that's not, don't have those name brands, and they get the opportunity to teach the kids who are less basically supported and taught, who are not prepared, who are less prepared to enter school. And so it's a harder job. But it's not an A or B school. It's a school that's full of A and B students. And the schools that they call in DNF schools are not schools that are DNF schools that are doing a DNF job. It's schools that are filled with kids who are behind. And most of the time, that's not the school's fault. So anyway, we're trying to get people to look at that different, and I'm encouraged. And so I came to a problem, and I'm looking for solutions, right? So I said, well, instead of doing this, let's do this. And people are saying, yeah, that'll work. That'll work. I didn't complain about what was, because it is. What is. Bring yourself as a force to make things better, wherever it is right now. Bring yourself as a force to make it better, and you will help create great history. Great history. great history. And Jazz is looking at the clock, and I think it's time for us to take a break, Jazz. And so we're going to let you listen to this piece again. I don't know how to say goodbye by Philip Manuel. And then we're going to come back, and I'll do Out and About. But I hope you enjoyed the discussion right there. And once again, you're listening to Lloyd Dennis on the Love Doctor Show, WBOK 1230 AM, online, WBOK1230am.com. And on Facebook, just find Lloyd Dennis's profile page, and bam, 2 o'clock on Tuesdays. I appreciate all of you, those of you in the live listening audience in New Orleans, those of you listening around the world to WBOK1230am.com, and the folks on who's in my face on Facebook, because I do get, if you comment, I get to see who you are. If you don't comment, I see your little love things floating by, but that's nice too. But anyway, welcome back to the show. We're going to do our Out and About of what Boo and I have been up to and what we will be up to. And yes, we are balling out of control. And I wanted to make the point on, I was almost started talking about it on Facebook, but I wanted to do this on the show live, on a the broadcast show, that life. So we're at the point where we raised our children. We're at a point in life where paid off the house, and so we're at that point in life where we get to really enjoy life. In other words, it's an opportunity where you have a little more money. You can enjoy your life. We care for my mom, but mom's good enough where we can get out and have a good time. So that only lasts a while. I was talking to CC with Real Love. So these guys out there performing, but they're beginning to age. And what we figured out is we might be able to do this for the next 6, 7. We're praying for 10 years. But it's not indefinitely. So I guess what I'm suggesting to you is that there's no reason to wait. And the longer you wait, the less likely that you're going to have the strength and energy to enjoy it like you really want to enjoy it. So that's why I do this, is a way of encouraging, just to let you know, New Orleans is a place where you don't ever have to be bored. If you're bored and you live in New Orleans, because you're just boring. So Friday, Ann and I went to the Mahalia Jackson Theater to experience Champion, which is Terence Blanchard's jazz opera about this, and it's about the story of this really tragic prize fighter, Emil Griffith. And man, this was my first opera. It was a jazz opera. I was really comfortable with that. It was good. It was good. The story was good. The singing was, off the chain. And Terence Blanchard, his music is, yeah, right. So it was really nice, man. I mean, a good emotional story. The music fed into that. And it was at the opera. I'm like, okay. I put a jacket on. Boo got looking good. It was good. And so we enjoyed that. And we weren't out too late. Well, we were, because a place that we went to eat that we go to every now and then, because it's late night. I don't know what they done. Their kitchen sucked. I'm not going to mention the name, but people that know us know that's where we go. And I don't know what they've done over there. I think somebody took over and didn't understand they got to pay I mean, Eddie Miss New Orleans. You got to pay the cooks, man. The cooks don't make tips. So you got to pay the cooks like that's your business, because if you own a restaurant, that is your business. That is your business. So you got to pay the cooks and treat them nice, too. Treat them nice, because in New Orleans, a good cook could walk across the street and get another job. So, you ain't doing them no favor just because you hire them. If they're good, they can move. And so these people, I think, didn't do the right thing by their cooks, and they lost the best ones. And it took forever to get some food. We will not be going there again. But anyway, That was Friday night after a really, really nice show, a really, really great show. If you get a chance to experience Champion, that jazz opera by Terence Blanchard, I really suggest that you do. Really suggest that you do. If you go to the opera or theater, and I got to tell my people this. If you go to theater or the opera, if you are not on time, they don't let you sit down until there's a break. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. And if you know Mary gonna be late, tell Mary it's an hour early and let her be mad when she get there a half hour early. Anyway, Saturday I had this really great opportunity to talk to some young people out at UNO, the Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority alumni chapter. Invited me to speak to some young leaders. It was a young leadership symposium out there for the Upward Bound program at UNO. And I did this piece I call Legs of Success. I've been doing this same piece, Lord, for 25 years, and it works all the time. The young people were great. They enjoyed me, and I enjoyed them. So thanks for having me, Sigma Gamma Rho. And Sunday, it seemed like I was doing a lot of community service, but I enjoy all this stuff. This Sunday, I was invited to be the MC for the ECHO, Educational Council for Hope and Opportunity, which runs a senior program, and had a great time. Music, the background music was provided by Linda Aubert and her I forgot the drummer's name. And let's say Cordell Chambliss. I remember Cordell's another keyboardist, and I remember him from Joe Cool Brown. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Joe Cool. the music, my words are not going right. No. So anyway, had a good time though. Had a good time. I appreciate what they were doing. They were celebrating volunteers, and I love to celebrate volunteers. And then Sunday night we were back at LaRue's and heard Big Frank and Lil Frank with Lloyd Daly. Lloyd Daly is like a one-man band. He's a computer geek, great musician. And so he's one of these people in the music industry that can sequence stuff and actually put together a whole band in his keyboards. And so it's just this guy with a couple of keyboards, but a whole band worth of sound comes out of it. And he does a great job with Big Frank and Lil Frank, and y'all know how I feel about them. We're gonna get them in the studio one day when they finally get their song someplace where you can buy it. Because it don't make sense. Friday coming, we're going to go catch Les Jetrix at Bambula's, and he's got a happy hour show. I think about 5:30 over there. And then after that, we're probably going to swing over to the Hyatt, because that's going to end early. We don't go in that early. And after that, we're probably going to swing over to the Hyatt and catch catch Stephanie Jordan, who is. Stephanie is one of the finest jazz singers that this city has ever produced, period. And she is an amazing talent, and she loves to entertain. And we love to be entertained by Stephanie. So we'll probably go over there and check her out. And then I know what we're doing Sunday. Sunday we're going to be over across the river at the Four Columns, where Black Pat Production presents their Smooth Jazz Sunday. This time featuring the Mystics, Mike Soulman Baptiste, and Clark Knighton in the 4x4 Connection. The Mystics are a group that do all of that group music, all of the Temptations, the Shy Lights, the Mystics, because they have their own music. And then Mike Soulman Baptiste comes out and does all of that. Sam and Dave, he does that hard driving soul, male soul singing stuff that was really hot back then and there. And so we're going to be a little bit busy. and we're excited about being busy because there's no reason to stay home. I mean, you know, there's just no reason to stay home. You know, if we can put our little ducats together, we drive modest automobiles, you know, our homes paid for, you know, neither one of us are big fancy dressers, you know, and so, you know, we put our little change together and we trying to enjoy this period of time that we have the freedom and the time and the opportunity and the energy to get out and have a good time. Because, you know, I may not dance every dance anymore, but I still get out and dance. You know, I may not dance every dance anymore. I used to dance. I used to dance every dance. But shoot, got sciatica. Things happen, changes happen, and you just got to face it. Life is like that. And if you can't handle the changes in life, you're going to be frustrated and upset because life does change. When people tell you life, age is nothing but a number, they tripping. Actually, I used to feel that way up until about 60, right once I got, up until 60-something, I was like, yeah, man, like age ain't nothing but a number. And boy, let me tell you something. See, if 62 get to you, then all of a sudden you start understanding that your body is changing. Things are rearranging. And life changes. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the Love Doctor show this week. Going next week, let's see. In my papers, there we go. Next week, I gotta find it, man. Oh, okay. Next week, the column is gonna be "Don't Fool Yourself." You heard that attitude in the voice? Yeah, that's radio. See, when radio, you can't just read. You gotta, don't fool yourself. I know y'all saw my head bobbing up and down through the radio. I love doing radio. But now I got to dress. Look, got to put a nice shirt on because got Facebook. I used to come in and holy T-shirts. But anyway, that's going to be the topic next week. Love is an action word, ladies and gentlemen. And the minimum action is that you think about how what you do impacts the people who you claim you love.